When we scale an item in the bake shop, we'll notice that our formula calls for pounds and ounces as opposed to cups and teaspoons. We scale on a balance scale, and it's called that because the two platforms are meant to balance when we reach the correct weight. We have what we call a balance weight that has to always be on the scale when the scale scoop is on. And these two, although they look very different in size, weigh exactly the same amount. So whenever this is on, we put this on. Then we have what we call a beam weight that goes across the beam scale in quarter-ounce increments. We also have a 4-pound weight, a 2-pound weight, and a 1-pound weight that come with a commercial baker's scale. The baker's scale is not the most exact type of scale anymore because now we have digital scales that are used more for confectionery work. But in a commercial bake shop where breads and rolls are made, this is still the scale of choice for scaling off your items. It holds a large volume of ingredients. The scale right now is facing you, and that's where you would be facing it when you scale out some ingredients. When I measure, I always will have my platform on the left and my balance weight on the right. Then I decide how many ounces I need and how many pounds I need. If I was scaling 1 pound and 4 ounces, I would move the beam weight to the 4-ounce increment and I would add a 1-pound weight. When I add 1 pound, 4 ounces of ingredients, my platforms will once again balance. Okay? If not, I need a little more or I have to take a little bit off. But it's key that those platforms actually balance in order to be at the proper weight. Probably the most common mistake people make in baking is when I'm scaling a small amount of something on a scale, I neglect to take off the balance weight. And the balance, it seems to take forever to get that to the right weight. So whenever I take the scoop off, it's important to remember I also have to take off the balance weight. And then you'll notice that the platform balances pretty easily.